Alright, we're going to look at number discs for subtraction. Now this is a little bit trickier because we're actually only making the discs for the first number. With addition, we made the discs for the first number as well as the second number, but for subtraction, we're only going to make the discs for the first number. So I'm going to go ahead and start with 362 minus 51. So again, I'm looking at 362 is 3 groups of 100, 6 groups of 10, and 2 ones. Now I'm going to be taking away 51, and we want to start again with the ones column. So here I have 1, 1. So I'm just going to cross one of those number discs off. And now I'm going to look at my groups of 10. I have 5 groups of 10, so I'll be taking away 5 groups of 10. 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's no hundreds, so we're left with our 300s. Now I'm going to go back and see how many circle discs or number discs are not crossed off. So in my ones column, I have 1. In my tens column, I have 1. And in my hundreds column, I have 3. So 362 minus 51 equals 311. Now let's take a look at using number discs for another problem. In this problem, we're going to start off with 485 minus 167. We're going to draw our place value chart using hundreds, tens, and ones. And remember, for subtraction, we're only going to draw the number discs for that first number. So here it's 485. I have 4 groups of 100, 8 groups of 10, and 5 ones. Now I'm going to look at 167. I'm going to begin with my ones. In this case, 7 ones. If I look here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not enough to take 7 away. So I'm going to have to regroup or borrow from my tens. I'm going to cross off a 10, draw an arrow over to make my new set of ones. 1 group of 10 is the same as 10 ones. Now I have enough to take away my 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm left with 8 ones. Now I'm going to look at my tens. In this case, I need to subtract 6 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm left with 1 group of 10. And I'm going to look at my hundreds. In this case, I'm subtracting 1 100. I'm left with 3. So the answer to 485 minus 167 is 318 using the number disc method. Let's take a look at when we have to borrow from both the tens and 100s. In this case, we're going to begin with 523 minus 258. I'm going to draw my place value chart. And again, focus on drawing the number discs for just that first number, 523. Is 5 hundreds, 2 tens, 3 ones. Now, I'm going to begin with my ones, 8. I cannot subtract 8 from 3, so I'm going to have to borrow from the tens. I'm going to cross off this 10, draw my arrow, and 1 10 is the same as 10 ones. So I'm going to draw all of those 10 ones. Now I can take away my 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm left with 5. I'm going to look at my tens. I have to take 5 tens away. I only have 1 10, so I'm going to have to borrow from the hundreds. Again, I'm going to cross it off, draw my arrow over, and we know that 10 tens is the same as 100. Now I can take away my 5 groups of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm left with 6 groups of 10. And then I finally need to take away 2 hundreds. 1, 2. I'm left with 2. So my answer is 265. Lastly, we're going to look at sums that are a little bit trickier because we have double zeros, or we're subtracting from groups of just hundreds. So for this one, we're going to give you 400, take away 163. We're going to begin with making our place value chart. and drawing number discs for that first number, which is 400. Now, we have 163. So we're looking at the 3. We cannot take a 3 away from the 1s. We can't borrow from the 10s. So we're going to have to go all the way over to the hundreds to get some 10s. So we're going to cross off 100, and that makes 10 10s. So again, let's go back to our 1s. We have to take 3 away. We still can't do that. So now we're going to have to go to our group of 10s. Take one group of 10 away, and that equals 10 1s. Finally, we're ready to subtract. So we're going to take 3 1s away. 1, 2, 3, leaving us with 7. Now we have to take 6 groups of 10 away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, leaving us with 3. And finally, we have to take one group of 100 away, leaving us with 2. So 400 minus 163 equals 237. That's how you can use number discs for subtraction.